Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League, and we're here for the Liverpool Show, and we're unveiling our new Christmas overlays, and we're going to use them throughout the entirety of Christmas, apart for watch-alongs. So, because there's always so much going on for a fucking watch-along, I don't want to add more crap onto it, because, then you just won't see anything. But I am joined by Tyler. Tyler, how are we doing, mate?
Yeah, all good. Obviously, the people should be used to it now. It's a regular occurrence, isn't it? Me and you collabing. So yeah.
Yeah, it's almost as inevitable as Ant and Dec, to be honest with you. But yeah, I was doing the overlay yesterday for West Ham, Man City, West Ham, and it is looking poor. It's looking peng. I'm not gonna lie, gonna lie. So,
did it take you a while to do it, or was you all right?
It took me a while to make all the foot cards for all the players, but once I managed to do that, it was quite seamless. It's actually easier to do it the way that I'm doing it now than the way I was previously doing it. It just takes longer to make, but I can reuse them for the whole season until everyone changes their fucking kit again, can't I? So
yeah.
Basically, summertime's gonna get bloody annoying, but it's all good. It's all good. But enough rabbiting on about all that. You'll see that on Sunday. You might in fact see something on Saturday because of things. I might not be going Argyle Wigan, but I'll definitely be trying to watch it or listen to it, and all of that. Just work and all of that crap. But we have got an awful lot to talk about today. We're obviously going to go over the Arsenal. We're going to go over the Arsenal result. We're also going to talk about FC Porto. We're going to go into a bit more depth about Tyler Morton, obviously getting his EPL and his Champions League debut this week. We're also going to talk about Jurgen Klopp and his little arguments, sort of, argument with an African journalist who wants an apology for the whole fucking continent. So we're gonna do that. And I actually thought Jurgen conducted himself very well, but we'll obviously get into that as the whole of Africa wants an apology, apparently. And we're also going to preview Southampton at the weekend, and there'll be other stuff. There's always going to be stuff that we can talk about for Liverpool because they're well run. But there's also United that have just hired Ralph Rangnick or are going to, which is actually quite interesting because Ralph Rangnick is a big influence of Jurgen Klopp. It's also a big influence of Thomas Tuchel. So I just German manager. Well, Ralph Rangnick is like 63 years old. Now, the last time I checked, Klopp and Tuchel weren't that old. So, younger German managers looking up to the Don of German managers, probably. Not a bad move for them. But obviously, we'll talk about that because it sort of does sneak in because it looks Ralph Rangnick is very much a guy who'll play like Jurgen Klopp. So, United playing like Liverpool, maybe we'll see that. But yeah, there's plenty to talk about. Mustafa says dead club. Okie dokie. Big up to Wolf. Big up to Wolf. Wolf is back. Hey lads. Hey Wolf, how are we doing?
Hello.
It is Christmas time. It is Christmas time. But let's talk Arsenal. Normally when you play Arsenal at Anfield, you normally smash them. And no change this week. It was an interesting game, wasn't it? You just dominated Arsenal. I thought Aaron Ramsdale obviously was man of the match. Obviously, we did a watch along for it, but just go through that game again because I just thought that United were just too good for Arsenal. United, Liverpool were too good for Arsenal. It's because obviously United have been dominating the news with fucking Ralph Rangnick.
Yeah.
And I've just been fucking watching some YouTube videos on Ralph. So pardon me if I'm distracted. But before you get your comment in, Wolf says there is a Niall mystery. There is. Ralph Rangnick, godfather of the Gegenpress. Let's go. Gegenpress, yeah. And that's what I mean. Klopp very much is using stuff that he sort of inspired from Ralph Rangnick. So a Gegenpress is definitely something that you'll probably see at Old Trafford at some point soon. But No, Tyler, talk to me about the Arsenal game, because as I said, I thought you were, way better than Arsenal, almost on every, well, actually on every level. So, yeah, give us your thoughts on it.
So, an overall summary. Here we go. So, obviously, I thought the start was not, it weren't the greatest. Not like we just, not much was happening from our side of things. And then obviously the Klopp and Arteta moment, that's what heated up the game.
Mm,
And then obviously, Anfield, you know how it is when they see stuff like that. Obviously, they're going to back Klopp and that.
yeah.
So yeah, then the game got lively from there. Obviously, Mane got a goal, but like the first half, as we've said plenty of times, it is Ramsdale versus Liverpool, mate. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Even the first goal, he still saved it. Like, well,
yeah.
not saved it, but he got a touch on it and it still went in. You
Mm,
know what I mean? It's just but yeah, brilliant ball in by Trent. Obviously, good
yeah.
header by Mane. And then second half, we just dominated them. We just absolutely dominated them, mate. Obviously, goal from
Mm,
Jota. Brilliant bit of skill. Obviously, we don't know what Tavares, or however you say his name, Nuno, I'll just say
yeah.
that. Don't know what he was doing. And then obviously Salah getting a goal. He was wanting a goal. How he is. He got a goal. Brilliant team playing that. Shimikas, the header to Jota, header from Jota through to Mane. Mane played it over to Salah. It's brilliant. And then obviously the Minamino coming on and literally getting a goal. It's one of them where most of our goals we just cut them open, and when we play like that, we are unreal. So yeah,
Yeah, no, 100%. Let's go through some comments. So there's an armistry. There is Ralph Ranieri, Godfather of the Gegenpress. Let's go. Spurs, haha. Kenny Ragnick, Bebe, getting knocked out in the BTEC Europa League. Finally, a tactical, a philosophical, experienced, and more importantly, proper attacking manager. So happy. Yeah, you're not far wrong. Ralph Ranieri is certainly one of the 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 the, the dons of football. You could probably put him in the same, in terms of building a project, probably in the same sort of sort of names as Fergie, and all of them. So yeah, it's a mad one. It's a mad one. Wolf says, I know it's been 2 days, but I missed you now. I missed you too, Wolf. I missed you too. Yeah, Wolf, and he has a 2-year role in the board after a 6-month tenure. Ten Hag soon. Wolf, we are feasting. Tellez and Van der Beek are gonna get game time. Soon. Ronaldo might not. Because the whole thing with Ragnick and Tyler will be a lot more experienced at Ragnick, even though he's never played under or watched Ragnick football, I'm guessing. Because Jurgen plays very similar football to Ralph Ragnick. Tyler, does Cristiano Ronaldo fit a Jurgen Klopp team?
oh, no,
Answer
I wouldn't say
honestly.
so I wouldn't
Yeah.
say so because he's not really a player that presses, is he? He's not,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
that's how we play.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, I wouldn't say so. No.
So, and this is not Ronaldo agenda, even though he is finished. This is me spitting pure facts that
And you
Ralph
lot know
Ragnick.
me. I don't have no agenda
Yeah.
against him.
Yeah,
So
I do,
you know,
but he doesn't.
yeah.
I don't think Cristiano will play for United too many times under Ralph, because, as Tyler mentioned, doesn't press enough. Ralph Ranieri is going to want pressing players. I can expect to see a Cavani, maybe even a Greenwood if he learns how to press right. Will probably start over Ronaldo. I honestly, I don't worry for Ronaldo because it's Ronaldo. I'm sure he'll be fine, but I actually don't think he'll play too often unless he's willing to ruin his body for Ralph and for United, and we'll have to wait and see on that. But this is the Liverpool show, so let's talk about things that Liverpool do. It's really interesting, right, with the whole United Liverpool thing because for the last God knows how many times in terms of years the Liverpool have been poor. Also, Rack is here. Merry Christmas, Rack.
Oh,
I couldn't wait any longer. I know. I couldn't wait any longer. So, welcome to Christmas. We have a tree and snow.
I've got
I
snow
hope
all
you-
over my face.
Yeah, same here, mate. I thought I liked it. I do like it. It looks decent. Do you know what? If I put you up there, because the snow's less dense up there. There you go.
Much better.
You got
much
less
better.
dense snow. Yeah,
Thanks for that,
yeah.
Niall.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Not a problem. Not a problem. But we were just talking about because obviously you've got United fans in the comments for the show as well. Obviously Ralph Rangnick being appointed. Someone was just talking about Ronaldo, and because Ralph plays the exact same football as Klopp, because Klopp probably learned it off Ralph, if we're being completely honest, because Gergen press, high press, and all of that stuff. And they were like, I asked you, I asked Tyler, I was like, does Ronaldo get into a Jurgen Klopp team? Because I don't think he does. Like, I don't think he presses enough. So that's that really. But we haven't gone too much into it. Oh, I'm not sure.
What's happened here?
Not 100%
Can
sure.
you see me?
Yes, we can see you now.
Oh. Yeah, no. So Klopp's mentor, although Ralph Rangnick, I think Klopp said he thinks about football in a very, very similar way. Klopp's mentor was Wolfgang Frank. He's the way, and Wolfgang Frank, I wouldn't say got most of his ideas, but he one of his biggest influence was Arrigo Sacchi. So yeah, it's more, I wouldn't say it's a coincidence that they think about football in a similar way, because I think a lot of German managers and stuff have kind of come from that school. But yeah, Wolfgang Frank was Klopp's guy.
To be fair, it's all pretty much the same with Germany, as you just mentioned, because they all come from the same school. They all they all essentially learn the same stuff, and some managers develop it into a different way. But what we do know is that Klopp plays a high pressing game, which doesn't allow anyone to get carried, and you can probably expect Ralph to play something relatively similar as Jurgen, and therefore Ronaldo is finished. But that's the way I see it. Ronaldo's
I'm looking forward to see Harry Maguire play with a high line and see him running back towards his own goal as several opposition attackers run past him.
It's adorable. You think Rangnick is playing Harry Maguire, mate? That's the adorable thing. I think. Do you know when you just get a feeling? I've got a feeling he's gonna go not Lindelof. Fucking hell. He's gonna want. Yeah, he's gonna want pace at the back, isn't he? If he's gonna play a high line like Klopp, he's gonna play by Varane, isn't he? If Varane's fit.
But by is like, it's like a slightly faster Lovren.
Yeah,
honestly, Man United fans have like goldfish like amnesia, because every 6 months or so they all want him back in a team, but they forget how atrocious he was when he was actually given a run in the team. So
yeah,
if they want that, then bring it on, because that's going to be quite funny too.
To be fair, they haven't really got. It's trying to pick the best of a shit bunch, really, isn't it? It's like Lindelof's all right, but he's slow and weak. Maguire is shit and just shit, and a disgrace to football and a humanity.
Fucking hell.
Varane,
that's a bit harsh. No, bloody hell.
Not quite. He's a bad man. That's what I can say. Varane, I actually rate Varane, but he's been injured a lot. But I reckon that's more because he's looking at Lindelof and Maguire and going, I'll take a day off work, thank you very much, or a month, and then bye. But we are here to talk about Liverpool. Believe it or not, as shocking as it sounds, we're actually here to talk about Liverpool. United can wait till tomorrow, when I unveil the Michael Carrick thumbnail. I loved making that. I cannot tell you how much fun I had making Michael Carrick's face on their thumbnail. That was almost Christmas time for me. But right, talk to me about Arsenal, because you dominated United at Old Trafford, and then you decided that dominating just United would not be sufficient enough for Klopp. He wanted to dominate Arsenal. You absolutely destroyed them mentally and physically.
Yeah, look, Arsenal, they put up a decent fight for about 30-35 minutes. They were resolute. We created a few chances, but
Don't
generally
say
speaking,
decent. They're fucking shit.
they were okay. But then as soon as and I don't necessarily think it was a direct result, but as soon as Arteta started giving it the big one with to Klopp, Klopp's our guy. If you come for him, we're going to come for you.
Yeah,
The crowd certainly made their voices and their opinions known very quickly, and that quickly translated into a 1-0 scoreline. And at the start of the second half, after we made it 2-0, that was pretty much game over.
Yeah,
And,
it was just Arsenal made it too easy for you. They do. I don't want to be rude to them because it's a bit like hitting a guy when you're down because they're so shit. But you just kept kicking them because it was essentially. I feel sorry for Aaron Ramsdale because it was 11v1, and I think ultimately that's very unfair when you're making it 11v1. I think that's ultimately quite disgraceful. So they ought to be ashamed of themselves. But Velv, what did you make of the Arsenal game?
I said it 4-0. Like, this shit, Arsenal. Like, I told them once they always do this to themselves. They did this under Unai Emery. They done it numerous times on the Wenger, going a nice unbeaten form. When they verse a top team, they lose. They get battered. Like, that's what I've been hearing a lot of shit from Arsenal fans. Like, oh, watch, we're gonna take it to Klopp. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Bro, your centre backs are getting out jumped by Jota, bro. Like, your centre backs are getting out jumped by a midget, bro. No offense, Jota, but you're kind of short. But like, you're getting out jumped. You're literally getting outrun in the midfield by Oxlade-Chamberlain. You know when you're bad when Oxlade-Chamberlain is out there dominating your midfield. Like, ESR did nothing. Saka, literally no one ever compares Saka to Mason Greenwood again. One's generational, one's not. Saka is dead. He's been dead since the Euros. So no one come up with this hype train. He's awful. And what did Aubameyang do? Aubameyang is washed, bro. Aubameyang's finished, man. Finished as a top striker. Giving credit to in the past, but he's now washed. Gabriel, he's never going to be better than Van Dijk. All this nonsense about, oh, Gabriel has a higher ceiling. He's going to be better than Van Dijk. No, he's not, bro. He's literally Martin Skirtle 2.0, bro. That's how bad he is. Like, he's not that good. The only person who actually had a good performance was Ramsdale. Like, it was literally Liverpool versus Ramsdale. It wasn't even against Arsenal. It was just Ramsdale.
Yeah, no, me and Tyler were doing a watch along, and I was like, bloody hell, isn't this? It's getting to a stage where it's actually brutal on Aaron Ramsdale. I mean, the lad's trying, but like, Jesus Christ, you couldn't ask for a tougher game because he was getting no support, he was getting no help at all. And you have to feel sorry for someone when you're getting that. But was that sort of the Liverpool that that came back? Because for me, you just dominated the game. It was too easy.
We weren't even that. Like, the best of Liverpool is yet to come. Like, I don't think this is our best Liverpool performance this season. Like, I think we're yet to see it. Like, the best Liverpool performance will be just not conceding any chances, creating loads of chances, and battering them. 'Cause let's be real, Arsenal are not a good team. This wasn't even a challenge. I'm looking at City and Chelsea as the proper challenge that we need to step our game. Arsenal's just like Norwich. No offense to Norwich, but you're just like relegation teams. Like, you just come to Anfield like, yeah, don't worry, we'll just give you 4. That's it. Like, Arsenal, nothing special. We don't need to be that good against Arsenal. I could fucking play Tyler Morton up front and Adrian in goal and we still win 5-0 or something. That's how bad they are.
I mean, that's just Velv has not held back there, has he? He's definitely you've definitely spoke your mind. I take it you don't rate Arsenal.
No, they the fans just they do this. They always overhype their players when they don't need to. When they go in like good run of form, they always do this. Oh, ESR should be up there with the Kai Havertz, Mason Mount. Bear in mind, someone said make ESR affects more phases of play than Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's
Yeah.
when you know these men are overhyping their players. They're trying to say Saka's the next big thing. He's not. He's just going to be a. He's a decent player. He's not going to be world class. His ceiling's not higher like any other stars. Like he's going to be like a decent player. Same with ESR. His ceiling is not that high. He's literally going to be like another Jack Wilshere guy. Like he's nothing special. So yeah, it's just like it's just against a dead team. Like
Yeah. No, I
if you
hear
want to
that.
challenge, then get a new manager and get better players, not these dead ass players.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Some comments here. Nice Canadian filter now. Lol, everyone buried in snow over here. Here. Oh,
the snow's gone.
Canada? Well, there's still snow at the bottom. I'm messing around essentially, Rack.
Oh, I
I'm
thought it was
working
something
out.
else. Okay, never mind.
Are we your guinea pigs?
Yeah, essentially, I'm using the Liverpool show tonight as guinea pigs because I'm trying to work out what works and what doesn't. The snow does work. I don't mind it. Just working on it. I might need to make it more transparent. That's what I need to do actually. But yeah, you're essentially my guinea pigs. As if I was to do this on another show, you can just bet they're all like, "Oh, the snow's gone." Yeah, mad. But I want to talk Tyler Morton actually before we crack on with the Porto game because Tyler has been one that has been hyped up by Liverpool fans. You did this with Harvey Elliott. You made me go watch Harvey Elliott, like study him for 2-3 games, and I was very impressed with Harvey Elliott. I had to do the same with Trent and all this because I'm not sure if I can trust. Well, I have trust issues with basically all top teams because you gas everyone up, mainly United and Arsenal. But I was very impressed with Harvey Elliott. So I sort of studied Tyler a lot yesterday in the watch along against Porto. And I'm very, very impressed. I thought he held his own. And I suppose it was when he decided that a 60-yard pass to Mo Salah in a Champions League game at Anfield against Porto was acceptable and that he managed to pull it off, that I really did open my eyes and was like, okay, that boy might actually be a baller. But Rack, we'll start with you. What did you make of it? Also, big up Wolf, and I'll see you in a bit. And Merry Nalmus. Love to see it.
Yeah, look, I didn't know much about Morton before watching him play the other day and obviously yesterday. It's a very small amount of minutes that he's played, but he looks like he's got a bit of everything. His passing range, especially in tight spaces under pressure, looks impressive for someone who's so young and inexperienced. You know, he didn't look out of place. Similar to Elliott. Elliott didn't look out of place when he came into the first team setup, and I don't think Morton necessarily did. Obviously, you know, he's got plenty of maturing to do, physically, tactically. You know, there's a long way to go, but as you know, Premier League debuts and Champions League debuts go for central midfielder who, I guess has got a little bit of Hendo and a little bit of Thiago in them. I mean, that's high praise, obviously, and I'm not suggesting that he's going to reach those kind of levels at this stage, but it's promising, and I don't want to say anything more than it's promising because he's a young kid. And let's take it easy with him, but you can get a little bit excited at least.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, when he's doing the snow is back, I'm fiddling with the transparency, so bear with me on this, because it was far too solid and white. It was like, Jesus Christ, at some point someone's gonna get accused of sniffing cocaine. So Tyler,
I thought it was cocaine.
You and me. See, you have idiots like him say it's cocaine. But that doesn't help. But Tyler, me and you were watching the watch along, and I openly admit I was watching Tyler Morton play probably a bit more than others because I was like, hey, Liverpool fans kept gassing this kid up. Let's see if he passes the test. Only 4 or 5 players recently have got me going, okay, yeah, they're a baller after watching them once. They were Trent, Phil Foden, Mason Greenwood, and Harvey Elliott. Believe it or not. Bloody hell, Velv. it's a disgrace to even put Jurgen Klopp's face over Maguire's face, to be honest. But Tyler, talk to me about Tyler Morton yesterday. Was it good to see him getting the game time?
Yeah, absolutely. I said that to you, obviously on the watch long and the match reaction we did. You know, it's good to see because it give him confidence. And yeah, like as was said earlier, he looked really good in place. You know, as Rack said, he was good in tight spaces as well. You know, he was really good, to be fair, and that pass obviously as well. So yeah, it was good to see that.
Yeah, that pass was. I'm still speechless at that pass. When you're making 60-yard passes in the Champions League at Anfield on your debut in the Champions League, you have got to have some serious confidence, and I think that probably comes from Jurgen and the coaching team at Liverpool. And I finally found the perfect transparency level. So I am proud of myself. I have achieved greatness. It's got the perfect of transparent. You can see the snow clear enough, but you can still see our faces. It's the perfect level of transparency. I'm a fucking genius. But Velvishwan, talk to me about Tyler Morton as I get overly excited about snow.
I mean, in his Premier League debut, dominated the midfield. Literally had all
It was
the
on
Arsenal
for 8
players.
minutes. Calm down on the Premier League debut. It was on for like 8. I'm talking more Champions League, probably the full 90 that we
Yeah,
saw.
I'm joking. Yeah, I feel he was decent. Obviously, there's still elements on his game needs to improve, but I like him. I like the way he stopped some of Porto's tap. That pass where Taremi tried to cut it back. He read the situation, got the ball, and his passing is very good. And it's good to see him and players like Leighton Clarkson. He's also playing in that similar role. It's good competition for those both. Um, Probably needs a loan move just to get more first team experience. But so far, he's doing a good job. And that pass yesterday was fantastic. Better than Gilmore, by the way.
You say he needs a loan. Is everyone just obsessed with all of these loans? I'm all sound with a loan move if you get the right one. But I'm looking at Billy Gilmore as a prime example of when a loan moves go absolutely wrong. It goes wrong on every level because the best two examples are there's 3 examples, right? So you got Phil Foden and Mason Greenwood, who have not had a loan, who sort of come into their teams being given the right amount of games, so cup games, and then sort of dripped Premier League games, and now they're sort of regulars for their team. And then you've got the sort of Billy Gilmore. And there is loans that work, like Harvey Elliott's loan again with Blackburn work like a tree. So there is proof on every sort of level of what happens when it goes right. Do you ultimately think a loan move for Tyler is going to be the right thing, or do you want to see him brought in like Greenwood and Foden were, which is they'll play in the meaningless sort of Champions League games, for example, the last one and the next one, they'll play, starting the Carabao Cup games, some FA Cup games if you're not playing one of the big teams. Would you want to see that sort of development, or do you actually want to see him go out on loan? But it'll have to be a loan move that, especially for a midfielder, it's easier to find a loan move for a winger because any team that's going to play attacking football and get out onto a wing, you're probably onto a good loan move. But especially in the centre of midfield, you're going to have to find a club that plays very much similar football to Liverpool, and allow him to develop there, unless you want to get him in the gym, because he does look like he definitely could do with a few extra sort of, weight days, and to eat a fry up probably every day, because he does look like he could get bodied by, well, almost any midfielder. But Rack, what do you want to see with Tyler? Do you want to see him get a loan move, or do you want to see Jurgen sort of control his development? It's weird, isn't it? It's a very difficult one to judge, because as I said, you can have the Greenwood Foden one where they're dripped into a first team. You've got the Billy Gilmore where he goes out on loan, it's a complete fuck up, or you got the Harvey Elliott one, which is he goes out on loan, completely smashes it, makes a name for himself, comes back into the first team. Obviously, if it weren't for the injury, he'd probably still be in the first team. causing fuss for almost everyone. So how do you want to see Tyler brought into this Liverpool side?
Yeah, look, I don't have enough information. I don't really know. What I trust the club and the coaches to do what they think is best. We saw with Harvey Elliott going out on loan last season at Blackburn proved to be the right thing. I thought incorrectly, obviously, that maybe this season Elliott should have gone out on loan to either perhaps back to Blackburn or maybe a lower level Premier League team, get minutes under his belt and get some experience that way. As it turned out, I totally underestimated his potential impact. So I'm really not the right person to be asking about these kind of things. But I forget his bloody name now. The other youngster, he's followed in Harvey Elliott's footsteps. Sorry,
Leighton Clarkson,
exactly. So he's gone to Blackburn. I think this is another sign of just Blackburn aren't a sexy team to send the players on loan to, but at the same time, it's all about development. Who's going to develop? Who's going to invest the hours that maybe are better spent with them as opposed to with Liverpool? With Tyler, it could be that staying at Liverpool for the remainder of the season and maybe going out on loan next season might be the best shout. We're still in the Carabao Cup. There's going to be another Champions League game to play, which I'd be surprised if he didn't form some part of. That will take us into mid-December. Then for the second half of the season, perhaps a loan might be worthwhile, because I think after that point the options for cup games might become a little bit limited. Maybe the first game or two of the FA Cup, because I think first round is the first week of January, and I think it's first round, third round and fourth round I think in the first week of January and last week of January. So maybe he could play a part there and then go out on loan. But
I was just about to say, the first round's already been and gone, mate. I had to do a fucking replay.
Yeah.
Second round is
first,
no fun.
First, I don't want to disrespect and say the first proper round. I'll say the third round I made a mistake. So
no, to be fair, it is probably the first proper round.
Ultimately,
fuck ITV.
I'm sure the club will do what they think think is the right thing, and I'm content supporting that.
Our manager is a Liverpool fan, by the way. I just thought I'd chuck that out there. So if there's any youngsters, if there's any good youngsters,
ever since I first laid iron in my knee, he was a top coach. What's his name?
Ryan Lowe. Very, very good manager, actually. To be
fair,
fair,
Ferguson, by the way.
I'm just hoping that fucking he starts building up that relationship. Apparently, he's already got a relationship with Klopp, and that we can start having some of your promising youngsters. We're looking for centre backs now. Just thought I'd chuck that out there. So if there's anyone from Liverpool watching, any young centre backs that are good, please send them to our goal, because we need some. I'll take him. I've no actually. Yeah, he could probably play ball playing centre back in League One.
I will send you Van Dijk as well for being nice.
Oh no! You could keep Van Dijk. We don't want to take the best of them. We'll take Tyler Morton instead. I just don't know if Van Dijk gets in over Dan Scar, to be honest. As stupid as that sounds, Dan Scar heads bricks. I don't know if Van Dijk does Van Dijk head a brick?
Nat Phillips head asteroids.
What?
We're just talking about Dan Scar, but moving swiftly on. Porto. Let's talk Porto. I was trying to think what we were going to talk about then. It is in fact Porto. Jurgen Klopp. Okay, it sort of rolls into one, because he's pissed off Africa. Apparently, the first man to have ever pissed off the entire continent of Africa. Do you know what? I actually felt Jurgen dealt with it. Let's do Jurgen first, then Porto, because I actually want to do this Jurgen bit. It's quite funny. So Jurgen Klopp has pissed off the entire continent of Africa, apparently, according to a journalist who believes that Jurgen Klopp owes Africa an apology. Now, for anyone wondering, this African journalist, I'm going to be as polite as I can, does not know English sarcasm to save his life. Because Jurgen Klopp was simply said or told by a reporter, there's no international breaks until March, to which Jurgen Klopp sarcastically replied, yes, there's only a small little tournament in Africa. obviously talking about the African Cup of Nations. Now, the thing with sarcasm, because we may have people from other countries who are watching this who don't understand what sarcasm is. So let me make it very helpful for you. Essentially, Jurgen Klopp was being ironic, which is a form of sarcasm. So, irony or ironic is basically when he says something, but he says it so when he says there's only a small tournament in Africa, it doesn't just mean there's a small tournament in Africa. What he means is you're an absolute bellend because you've forgotten about the African Cup of Nations, you absolute donkey. That is essentially what Jurgen Klopp meant. Let me translate what Jurgen meant. I don't know if he meant to call the journalist a donkey, but I thought I'd add that in there for special effect. Ralph, does Jurgen owe Africa an apology?
Boom. No.
Nope. Rack?
You know, it's a difficult one because everyone knows what Klopp meant. Or everyone who understands. I don't want to be patronising because then I could be accused of stuff. But anyone who's a native English speaker will understand. Even though Klopp's not a native English speaker, will understand the implication that Klopp was making there. He wasn't saying it was a small tournament. He was saying it was a big tournament, but it's in the middle. And the fact that the guy had said there were no international breaks, and there's not just an international break. There's a bloody tournament in the middle of it. So that's the point. At the same time, one of the rules of communication, they say, and I learned this at uni, and I don't know. This is not a bloody lecture, but the obligation or the message is the person who's sending the message or speaking the message is his responsibility to communicate the meaning within it. And you could argue that Klopp didn't, but again, he's not a native English speaker. So anyway, this is not bloody uni, so fuck it.
It is tough for Jurgen because he's come from Germany and English isn't his first language. I understood exactly what he meant. I quite instantly. I was like, yeah, that you're right. There isn't any international breaks apart from a fucking African Cup of Nations tournament. You're right. That the African Euros that's nothing. That's a piece of cake, mate. Absolutely easy. Well, why would you worry about that? It's only the entirety of January plus a little bit more that they'll be away for. But yeah, you're right. There's no international breaks apart from a month for, you know, Africa's best players, like, you know, Mo Salah. Oh yes, that one. Oh, and and you've got Sadio Mane. Yes, that's probably two that are quite, you know, pivotal to Liverpool. They're not exactly small little players, are they? They're Salah and Mane. They've been quite important for Liverpool for quite some time. Big up to D James. Big up to yourself. But Tyler, Jurgen Klopp, does he owe Africa an apology?
No, I think they the way they run the tournament, I think they owe him an apology the time they're doing it. To be quite honest with you,
Tyler has now picked a fight with Africa. I'll be interested to see how this goes.
Doubling down.
Hey, Tyler, you're gonna get rushed after the stream. Right? Them are gonna come knocking at your doors.
Brilliant. No, it's not Africa as well. It was a journalist that wants an apology for the whole of Africa. Not Africa itself. It was a journalist. Well, I think was African, but it's just a complete shit show. What about you, Velv? Does Jurgen owe Africa an apology?
No, like I don't understand. Like it's these reporters that try to do something in every power to make up a story. Like, I mean, if Jurgen got pissed off Africa, the Salah Mane will be at his house trying to beat the shit out of him. And Naby Keita comes in with his crutches, hits him, and also injures himself.
I was just about to say, I mentioned Salah Mane. I completely forgot about Naby Keita. Is he going? Is his team in the African Cup of Nations? Have they qualified?
Yeah, it's him and Mane on the same group.
I suppose that Naby's always injured. That it's easy to forget him. My apologies.
Like it's just funny. Like it's like, oh, you just pissed off Africa. You're going to, yeah, cool. Like he doesn't.
The thing is, Jurgen even tried explaining it to him. He like, I feel like the reporter could have asked the question a lot better than he did, because essentially he just went for Jurgen straight away instead of going, "Can you clarify what you meant by small little tournament in Africa?" Which would have allowed Jurgen the opportunity to go, "I don't mean it's a small little tournament. I meant the reporter mentioned no international break, so I thought that he must have thought that the African Cup of Nations was a small little tournament in Africa. I do not have that viewpoint." But he even said that he doesn't have the view that the African Cup of Nations is a small tournament. He said that, but the reporter still went for him. It's like, I don't know if something's getting lost in translation here, boys, but I suppose you've got two people whose English isn't their first language trying to communicate in English, and this is getting messed. This is getting missed by, this isn't working, guys.
You know, like sometimes you hear non-English speaking players speaking to each other in English, and it was always a little bit weird, a little bit awkward. I remember when I was living in Italy, I was sitting with some Italians and we were speaking Italian, but at some points I was having to speak Italian to my English mate who like an hour or so ago I was chatting, speaking normal English to about any other kind of stuff. And the idea of speaking to someone in a non-native tongue and them also being non-native is really weird and awkward and not an easy thing to do. So there's inevitably going to be miscommunication.
And it was via video conference call as well, which is going to make it just even more difficult. It's a complete shit show. Wolf is back, which we love to see. Was just watching Champions League highlights. We played Liverpool versus Porto. Well played, Liverpool versus Porto. Klopp versus Africa. Welcome to 2021. Bad times we live in.
That'll be a documentary, That'll be a mad documentary.
Klopp versus Africa. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, he's gone for Boris, hasn't he? Jurgen was like out. He was confused how we let them people run our country, and not for the first time. I applaud Jurgen Klopp for clearly being more sensible than most Englishmen. I guess it's just something to do with Germans. They're just madly sensible. Maybe it's the beer. Maybe there's something different in the beer. But
my advice to Klopp: just don't go to Africa for holiday. Just stay in.
Yeah, don't take a trip to Africa this summer. I just give that a wide berth. I don't know. Go. Any other he's only insulted Africa by a sounds of it. He hasn't gone for South America yet. Although that will be next.
He assaulted the domestic trophy, so he's technically an enemy to England. He's just making enemies in the country.
To be fair, Jurgen is
CONCACAF is next.
Well, I was just about to say he's going to go for South America next, isn't he? Because he's going to be like, they're just off to play in their small little tournament in South America. He's going to be like, it's only a small little tournament in South America. He's going to be like, yes, boys. No one wants my players. Excellent. But let's talk about Porto. We've now gone through the whole Jurgen Klopp pissing off an entire continent, which I thought I would be the first person to do that. So I'm a little bit upset that it's actually Jurgen, but I suppose I'll just have to take on, I don't know. What continent don't I like? Europe. I'll just take on Europe.
Just take on Italy. Just go to Italy.
I'll just piss off it. Yeah, I'll just go into Italy and put pineapple on all the pizzas, and snap all the spaghetti. But let's talk about Porto, because whilst obviously Jurgen was disrespecting Africa, there was a small Champions League game at Anfield. See what I did there? Yeah. I thought I disrespected UEFA Champions League. What are you gonna do? But Rak, what did you make of the Liverpool performance against Porto? Because we always knew there would be some changes. Atletico Madrid fans were fucking raging with you lot, going, "Oh my god, they're gonna play, fucking grannies and young kids, and it's gonna be a disgrace. They're gonna Salah and Mane are never gonna play. They're trying to get us knocked out the tournament." They were going absolutely wild on Twitter.
Atletico Madrid fans, is that really?
Yeah, do you know they're bottom of the group right now?
I didn't really know that there was a Atletico Madrid group that was angry at us for some reason, but unfortunately they were
Well,
doing a good enough job of getting themselves knocked out by losing
No,
to AC Milan. So
didn't we do that last season where Man United played the kids against Leicester and then our fans just started getting pissed at Man United?
Yeah,
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
ultimately, Porto came. The Porto versus Liverpool went how Porto versus Liverpool always goes. Despite the huge change in personnel, we spanked them, and they must be sick of the sight of us. I think I saw something about over the last 5 games or 6 games that the aggregate score is something like 18-2.
For away
So-
meetings, it's like 17 goals scored.
Yeah, it's
Fucking
just
hell.
a bit crazy. So and a couple of, I think 1 or maybe even 2 of those games were 0-0 at Anfield after we'd spanked them 4-0 or 5-0 away from home, and just because they were dead rubbers. So yeah, nothing new
Disrespect
here.
Liverpool Show
We
Porto
did what we had
here.
to do. I would actually like it if Porto go through.
Yeah, come at us,
and
Portugal.
I think they have every
we
chance of
disagree,
going through
man.
against and Atletico Madrid getting knocked out, because fuck Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, Simeone isn't having the greatest time in the UEFA Champions League this year. But it's actually a tough group. I know Liverpool fans, they said this was a group of death. Not for you, dickheads. Shouldn't be the group of death for you. You should be able to beat Porto and AC
I mean,
Milan.
we made it the group of death. We literally sent those 3 teams back to. Okay, I feel rude for saying that. AC Milan, a big club. I respect you, but fuck you, Atletico and Porto.
Right. I don't know what the hell Porto have done to upset you. They keep giving you points. Why are you angry with them?
They didn't give us Otavio. They didn't give us Fabio Vieira. They didn't give us Fabio Silva. So then them man can go suck themselves.
Right. Okay. So Valve's being petulant. Tyler, talk to me about the game against Porto.
It's just one of them sound performances, wasn't it? Really. Obviously, the lineup was very obviously it's to keep players in sharp as well as give other players a go like Morton. The Salah, the Manes. That's obviously for sharpness, stuff like that. But yeah, it was one of them. Another clean sheet. Another win. 5 out of 5 in the Champions League. It's just nice.
Yeah, no, 100%. Big up to Charles, who says yes. Niall Wolf says fuck Atletico Madrid. Rack inspiring quote.
Can I
Ragnick
put that
Fire.
on my the epitaph on my tombstone?
Absolutely.
You'll never walk alone. Fuck Atletico Madrid.
There we go. Ragnick Fire incoming to Anfield. Watch out, Liverpool fans. Hey, sing the Canadian anthem, Velv.
God
Hey, Wolf.
save our great. Okay.
I know that Canada has the Queen on their money and she is head of state, but their national anthem is not fucking God Save the Queen. Isn't it like Oh Canada or something? Not that I'm singing it. You'd have to get me very drunk for me to even consider that, and I'm on coffee, not alcohol. Charles says Chelsea 4-0. I don't know the context of this 4-0. Are you playing Liverpool at the weekend? I'm confused. I don't know. Charles confuses me half the time. Charles is actually probably drunk, and she probably thinks it's a United show. Apologies, Charles, if you're not drunk. But right, Velv, have you spoke about Porto? I
Not
can't
yet.
remember. Talk about Porto without trying to disrespect them, because they're quite nice to you, Liverpool lot. They keep giving you points.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land. True patriot love.
Right, stop
Fucking
fucking
hell.
singing, because you're going to make everyone turn off to a different channel, and you'll never come
I
on.
gotta go, lads. See ya.
So talk about the Porto game and try not to sing, because you haven't got the singing voice. I think everyone in the world, we have our limitations, and I think singing is your limitation.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I thought Sebastian Haller, 2 nice goals against Besiktas, breaking
Wrong
Arnold's
game.
record. Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. What a goal by Thiago, what a goal by Salah. I don't need to talk about it because Porto are shit.
Wow, that do you know what? You couldn't have been more positive about Porto there. Porto gave us Alex Telles, respect. Golden buzzer.
Yeah, thank you, Wolf.
But we are going to talk about a game that's coming up. It used to be a rivalry because you used to take all their players. You used to be nicknamed
The Adam
Southampton
Lallana derby.
Yeah, the Adam Lallana derby. That's the one. I knew it. I knew it had a name. Essentially, he wasn't the only one. I mean, you took Nathaniel Klein,
Lovren,
Mane.
Yeah, there's a fucking list of them.
The Dejan Lovren derby, is that better than the Adam Lallana derby? I think they're pretty close.
It rolls off the tongue better, the Adam Lallana derby. I think so.
Derby. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was the Dijon Lovren derby. I think it's because Lovren, you've already. But then when you go Lovren derby, your tongue's already on the top of your mouth to say derby.
Flashback to GCSE English literature here.
Yeah. Let's call it Porto or shit derby. That's what we call it. Porto or shit derby.
Velv, you're a disgrace. But
the Nathaniel Klein derby.
The Nathaniel Klein derby. No, Nathaniel's too long. Let's call it the Sadio Mane derby. For Liverpool versus Southampton in the Sadio Mane derby, it used to be quite a big derby in English football when Liverpool was shit. This was, a few years ago. But Rak, how are you feeling about facing your old foes, Southampton?
I mean,
and what player do you want from them this year?
What player? Ooh, that's a good question.
Hassan Hüttl's wife.
Fucking hell. Jesus Christ.
I can't possibly comment.
That went down.
Who's good or is an outstanding talent for Southampton? I don't really watch that much of Southampton. I'm not sure if
that's the thing.
Well for them recently.
They used to have some, but I don't think
that talent pool seems to have dried up a little bit over the last couple of years. So
yeah,
Salisu's a baller. They're centre back.
He is? Okay, I'll take Vol's word for it. I don't
Hold
know
on, you've already got 4 centre backs. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh,
we got 5. We got Nat Phillips too.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, Nat Phillips, if I can't fuck it.
Ward Prowse wouldn't be a bad shout, would it? Because then you've obviously got free kick taker, providing he's on the pitch. And you are lacking this year. And to be fair, you are lacking central midfielders at the moment because
if we converted Ward Prowse into a backup right back, then I'd take him. But apart from that,
Ibrahim Diallo is a baller as well. DM as well.
He's played right back before, I'm pretty sure, for Southampton. For Southampton, he's played there a couple of times.
He always plays there against Wilfried Zaha, because he hates Zaha.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember who it was. I think it actually might have been Hassan Hüttl when he first joined. He had this whole idea of converting Ward-Prowse into a right back. Ward-Prowse was awfully confused by the idea, but did it because it was
in the 1920 season. He played there a lot when Walker Peters was injured or something.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Hassan Hüttl had this idea. But anyway, we're going off the point. So Ward-Prowse is a new Liverpool player who will be bought in the summer. But talk to me about the game anyway. It's at Anfield. So you got the Anfield atmosphere to help you along this very tricky derby match.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm not particularly excited. Is not the word. I always look forward to Liverpool playing. But it's not the kind of game that gets, for want of a better word, doesn't exactly get the juices flying. But but as a team, we need to kind of be aware of that, because in similar matches, like against Brighton, for example, we've dropped points as a result. We haven't been up for the game, and we've dropped points, and we can't really afford to drop points. Chelsea are looking like a machine at the moment in terms of just grinding out the wins. They're starting to become a little bit more expansive as well now, playing in terms of scoring goals. City always going to be there or thereabouts. We need to go into machine mode like we did when the year we won the league, and just get the first goal and then control, and look at the openings we can create as and when necessary. But it's all about control of the game, control of the football, and that's how we will go on another one of our long winning runs, and that's how we win the league.
So I'm guessing you're hoping for Michael Carrick and United to actually turn up against Chelsea this weekend.
I mean, I'm not putting money on it, but yeah.
Well,
that would be nice.
Neither am I, Rack. But I mean, if it's not like United are title contenders, let's be fair. You've lost far too many games now, and your goal differences are abysmal to go win no leagues. An FA Cup or Champions League could happen though. But if United beat Chelsea, it takes some points off them. If you beat Southampton, it just closes gaps, doesn't it? So, Liverpool fans will probably be hoping for United to do a job on Chelsea, even if they just take a point. Right, if they can shithouse a draw against Chelsea, I suppose that probably helps Chelsea, Liverpool quite a bit anyway. So maybe United can help.
What the
Liverpool,
fuck is that picture? Why is KSI That's his rape face.
Oh Jesus Christ, Velv. You always find a way, don't you? But Tyler, talk to me about the Sadio Mane derby, the Adam Lallana derby, and the Dejan Lovren derby. Or the Dejan Lovren, Sadio Mane, Adam Lallana derby. Put them all three together.
Well, obviously, another home game. It's a bit annoying that it's 3 o'clock. Don't really like them ones, but
it's only against Southampton. Calm down.
Yeah, I know, but I like to watch them.
Can't be on TV every year.
But yeah, I think it's going to be one of them games that are like. Obviously, it would be one that we'll need to control, like I said earlier. But I think it's going to be one of them. It's a couple of goal margin wins. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring. I think Southampton, obviously they've got a good manager, got some good players, some good replacements in as well, like Armstrong. Shea Adams is doing well for them. Obviously Ward-Prowse as well. So yeah, got some good players. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. But yeah,
nice. Should be an interesting one, that's for sure. Velv, got any opinions on the Sadio Mane, Dejan Lovren, Adam Lallana derby?
I think we'll be fine. I wonder, is Gomez is fit or is he injured?
Gomez. I wanted to ask you about this because Tyler said yesterday that he was injured. What's happened with Joe Gomez? Anyone have any ideas? Is Jurgen be making him do total wipeout again?
Oh, could you know?
Anyone any ideas on Joe Gomez where he's disappeared to?
Let me check what injury he's had. If he's okay,
it's an
Joe
interesting
Gomez.
one.
Let's see what we have here.
The late shows are now on Sundays. We didn't do it actually this Sunday. They're on Sundays now. Sundays are a bit easier than doing it during the week, but I need to speak to Matthew on that. So we will do that probably on Sunday.
Joe Gomez to be back. So he's going to be out for a while.
What injury has he got?
I don't know. What has he done?
God, Joe Gomez. That's always been the issue of Joe Gomez, hasn't it? That he's always been fairly injury prone, hasn't he? Since joining from Charlton.
Yeah. If he continues, then we might have to consider selling him. Because I don't think we could keep up with it. And it's such a shame because he's such a talented centre back.
Well, I suppose you can keep up with it if you're using him as a backup. Obviously, you brought in Konate. Brought in, obviously you got Matip, who's touch wood actually remained injury free at the moment, which is somewhat remarkable for him, really. Wolf says Joe Gomez heard Kenny's opinions, and he was never seen ever since.
Yeah, you were just being Kenny.
Velv, give us your thoughts going into the game and your score prediction.
I expect to win. I'll give credit. Southampton defensively have been really decent this season. I think McCarthy is one of the top. Actually, got the most clean sheets in the Prem. I think he's joint with
Was he
us.
actually?
Or, yeah, I think he's got like 6 clean sheets or something, or 7.
That's impressive for Southampton as well.
Yeah, and yeah, I
They
feel
lost
like
Vestergaard, didn't they? They lost Vestergaard in the summer as well to
and then
Leicester.
Salisi stepped in, and then I've been saying about he's a baller.
Mm.
Like he deserves to be at a top club, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's a different story. Yeah, I feel like should be an easy win because the Shea Adams is not clinical, so we use that to our advantage. And then yeah, I'm just hoping for like a comfortable win. Like hopefully Salah could get more FPL points for me. Jota starting again, be good. Interesting to see the midfield. I'll just keep it as Fab, Thiago, and Ox because that's the only available midfield we have.
Yeah, no, I hear that. And to finish off, we're gonna speak about Ox actually. Rack, what do you make of Oxlade-Chamberlain? Is it? I think his contract runs up at the summer, doesn't it? So, any interest of keeping that going, or is it time for him to leave?
It's a funny one with Ox because I have been, I wouldn't say critical of him, but I kind of felt like his time at Liverpool was drawing to a close. He still hasn't done enough to convince me. It's going to take more than a couple of, and that's just because the damage done by that injury, it's career altering and potentially career ending. So I think he's done okay in the last 2 games. A lot of people were saying he was amazing, best midfielder, and all that kind of stuff. I think that's a little bit early. I think he did okay. I want to see more of that. And then if he look, I don't think Ox is ever going to be a starter in the midfield for the majority of games. Not now anyway. And therefore, I think the best he could end up being is like a I don't know, maybe a I don't even want to say better Jordan Henderson, but like the next Jordan Henderson, but maybe with less game time, and so there may be a space in the squad for him, but if that's not to be, then whenever he leaves Liverpool, whether it be this summer or at some point in the future, he'll go with our best wishes and good luck. That he basically gave up. He gave his knee for the club, and it was a real shame because that he was just getting to a really, really, really good patch of form, and
I guess when you look at the young players coming through, the likes of Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, who's been sort of been playing the centre of midfield under Jurgen. Now, obviously, you got Tyler Morton in that conversation. I suppose when you're looking at the young players coming through, are they performing to a better standard of Oxlade-Chamberlain? And I think Harvey Elliott definitely was. I think Harvey is a weird one. I think Harvey could play anywhere within that central midfield role, apart from DM. And anywhere across that front line. I just see, maybe not as a striker, but on that right-hand side, whether that be right central midfield or right wing, I think he could do a job there. And you started seeing that, didn't you? You saw the link up between him, Trent, and Salah, which was almost the most
was brilliant.
Yeah, almost the most disgusting right-sided sort of attack ever seen in world football.
Yeah, look, one thing that I did just look up quickly was his contract situation. It looks like his contract actually expires in 2023. So if he does leave, we could probably get some kind of transfer fee for him, which would be also good from the club's point of view in terms of rebuilding.
Liverpool are normally quite good at that, aren't they? They normally, what we saw with Gini Wijnaldum was an anomaly, wasn't it? Where we saw someone walk out for free. I mean, normally Liverpool are quite good at getting a decent price as well. I mean, didn't you get something like 15 million for Shaqiri? Something around.
I think we wanted 12.
8 million.
I think we ended up getting 8 or 9. Yeah,
I knew it was around that ballpark.
Yeah, and in the pandemic hit summer, I think that's probably par for the course. You know, market conditions
Yeah,
dictate
yeah.
that as well. So it was
Yeah.
definitely a buyer's market back then.
A non-COVID market, you're probably looking at around 12, 15 million, aren't you, for Shaqiri? But as you said, all prices were lowered. I mean, so I think you look at the big transfers that were done. Obviously, I know City paid 100 million for Grealish, but he had a clause that meant you couldn't pay anything less than 100 million. But look at, I suppose United were the one who did the biggest business. So you look at how much that price from Sancho, which was what 110 million, they whittled it down to 70. Now I know the contract situation affected that as well, but just because you've lost a year in your contract doesn't shave 40 million pounds off your transfer fees. So it's an interesting one. Wolf says thoughts on James Milner, Liverpool fans. Goat played Cam midweek, and look, Liverpool fans love James. But I want Tyler, talk to me about Oxlade-Chamberlain. What do you want to see from sort of the future? Do you want to see Ox sort of sold in the summer, or do you still think he's got a future at Liverpool? How do you see it? Also, Velv, I don't know what you've done, but you've pissed off Wolf.
For me, I think his best time's done, and that was 2018. I feel you're not going to see anything like that again. You know, it's one of them, and you know, people like to talk about would they rather keep Keita or Ox. For me, I'd rather keep Keita because he's younger. You know, there's factors and stuff that come into it. Like they both tend to get injured a lot, but you know, for me, it just as I said, Ox's time is up. I feel like I don't like have anything against him or anything. I don't know. It's just he's not going to get back to that level. So yeah.
No, I hear that. Wolf says, "Big up, Niall. You run YouTube." I don't know if I run the whole thing, but I do have a channel. I don't know if I'd want to run the whole thing. It seems like a lot of work. But Velv, who's just put Mark Henry on the screen. I don't know why you've put Mark Henry on your profile picture, but I'll allow it. Talk to me about Oxlade-Chamberlain. Does he have a future, or is it time to cash in?
Tell him to go back to Perry Edwards, you dusty you.
Wow. To be fair, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gay, so I get away with it. There could be worse things to do in your spare time than be chilling with Perry Edwards. I'm guessing for straight men. I can imagine.
I mean, he's a lucky man. He's a very lucky man.
Yeah.
She's
That's that. Rex, she'll do. She's all right. Not too bad. Yeah. Spoken like he's speaking
for
about
Tyler's
cooking.
case, he's into 89-year-old woman. Sorry, Tyler.
Oh no, you're trying to say Tyler's the Wayne Rooney of Liverpool fan base.
Oh, Tyler's getting rinsed by Velv again. Any thought process on that back, Tyler, or he's absolutely speechless. He's speechless. He cannot believe what Velv has just said on YouTube. Devon says, "Hi, Rack. Hey, Devon, mate. Big up, Mystic. Just managed to get home through a swimming pool of all walkways in Vancouver. Is it snow or water? Is it flooded or is it snowing? I don't know. But it's a shame you've only just got here because we are actually wrapping it up now. Because I have got to get ready to go to work. Yay me. Well excited. Cannot wait till January when I go find myself a day job. Because working nights, I blake. So do you know what I want? A 9 till 5 job. Not hard to not too much to ask for, is it? Just want a lovely little 9 till 5 job, Monday to Friday. Right. So that's all I want. So that's what I'm going to look for. Still flooding like crazy. Did we make the news in the UK? No, we've got Boris. He makes the news every day. When we don't have Boris, maybe we'll have time for international news. But until that time, Boris does something crazy every day that we need to cover. Not on this channel. Am I fuck doing it? I have been thinking though, I might cover the election as a sort of parody. Like we'll do it, but it'll just be an absolute piss take for the election, which I think could be quite funny. As why not? We'll have Blue can be conservative. We actually sort of meets Chelsea's values. Labour can be like United and Liverpool. Again, sort of meets their values. And Liberal Democrats can be Norwich. Sometimes they do well, sometimes they do shit. And then you got
Sometimes it'll be good, sometimes it'll be shit.
Then you got UKIP who are who are Millwall. See, I've got this down to a T, mate. Absolutely sorted. So we'll do that. So we've got Chelsea versus United, Liverpool versus Norwich versus Millwall. That could be quite that could be quite an interesting one. Yes, no, please. Politics parody. It would only be for the election. I'm not going to start getting into politics too much. Jesus.
I'm going to wear a suit for that stream.
A friend of mine had to get saved from a helicopter. That is mad.
Oh,
British Columbia is mad flooded. Well, I hope you're all okay and all survive. If you do need anything, yeah, we'll send some food over on a boat. Can Dortmund be Liberal Democrats now? We could give it a Dortmund or Norwich. I don't mind whichever. Actually, Norwich are more Tory, I think. Yeah,
let's
we'll
give
go
it to
Dortmund.
West Brom.
Nah, they've got to match the colour of the party.
Oh,
No, I know.
No, give it to Burnley. They sound some Brexit.
No, but Burnley will be the Brexit party or the Reform party. Reform UK, I think they're called now. Whatever it is. But yeah, Burnley will be them. Whichever political party has got a Union Jack on their badge, that'll be Burnley. So yes, but on that note, we are going to wrap it up there. Also on Christmas Day, we're doing 2 watch-alongs, one after the other. It's one big stream because I'm seeing my father.
Santa?
Not quite.
So
I'm seeing my father in the evening and the rest of the family. I like to keep it short with them because I like to enjoy my Christmas. So I see the family for 4 or 5 hours in the evening.
I'm gonna wank in Christmas. Make my snow come out.
Lovely, you're disgusting. But yes, I'll be seeing them in the evening. So I've actually got some time during the day. So what we're going to do is we're picking 2 historical matches to watch, one of which is going to be United versus Bournemouth from 2019, the 5-2 thriller. And then we're going to have a vote on our Twitter in December between a few. You got like Chelsea Ajax, United Arsenal, Chelsea Villa, Liverpool. I think have got one nominated. If not, I need to find one to get Liverpool nominated as well. But yeah, Liverpool Dortmund actually when you won 4-3 in 2014. But yeah, essentially we'll vote and then we'll do a watch along of that, providing they're all on the website that I'll be using to watch it, and we'll just chill on Christmas Day whilst I'm drinking champagne and getting absolutely shit-faced. So yeah, that'll be absolutely wonderful. So that's on Christmas Day, so make sure you tune in to that as well, because obviously not everyone celebrates Christmas and not everyone has someone to celebrate it with. So thought I'd bring the festive cheer for everyone, so we're doing that as well. So keep an eye on our Twitter. Also on our Twitter, if you want to win some FIFA coins, you can do so by subscribing to the channel, retweeting and liking the pin tweet, and also getting us to 500 subscribers, which we're not too far away. So make sure you do all of that.
Or if
Before
you want
you
the
do
FIFA
go,
points, I will just text Niall's address so you can just go steal it from him.
you don't have my address, but thank you. Also, you can't steal FIFA points because we haven't bought them yet. But yeah, before you do go, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Check out our socials: Twitter, Let's Talk EPL, Instagram, Let's Talk EPL_, and on TikTok, Let's Talk Premier League. Rack, where can they find you, mate?
At Raxing1 on Twitter and a few other places, including here. So here on Thursday evenings.
Absolutely. And on the First XI for the Liverpool Show on Mondays.
First 11, Football Terrace, Twitter
All over the
Spaces,
place.
East
all over
London,
the place.
the world.
Twitter
East London.
dialect.
Right, I will find you.
Been
Hit me
singing
up,
on
bro.
Twitter yet? Have you been singing on Twitter yet, or
No,
did you
what
skip
is
that? bit?
sorry, just as like, can anyone explain to me this whole? Is it sing your accent
Yes,
or whatever it's
sing
called?
your dialect. So
Sing your
basically,
dialect. What's that all about?
it's basically like some like late show where the celebrities come on and they just get to sing a song. Funny enough,
Declan,
there's an imposter there. One of the guys who follows me, he just changed his name and profile to Jacob, and now he's just doing the sing your dialect. And he's
to be fair, didn't Declan Rice come on and sing a Rice Rice Baby or Ice
yeah,
Ice Baby?
I was there when it happened. It was elite.
It's madness. So yeah, that's sing your dialect. We are not doing that. But yeah, you not joined that yet, Rack, or is that in the future?
In the future,
In
a
the
distant future,
Love-
I expect. But
Oh no,
future.
Husam's now doing it, so you can sing on Husam's stream back.
Oh,
Husam's space.
I'm washing my hair.
I love to see it. Ironically, that's the same excuse I've used on many a times. But Tyler, where can they find you, mate?
Obviously, T Boys TV. On Instagram, T_boys_TV. So yeah, that's literally the places. There'll be a Premier League predictions on my channel tomorrow. So yeah.
Nice. We're also doing Chelsea United watch along on Sunday, which should be an interesting one. So another one of your favourite collabs, as our viewers seem to absolutely love our watch alongs, which is good. They're not too bad. Not too bad at all. Better than doing it on your own, I feel. But Wanker Tanker Velv, where can they find you, mate?
You can find me at Hassan Hooter's house sleeping with his wife.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I've no idea what to say to that, really. Apart from sorry, Ralph Hassan Hootle, that your wife is cheating on you with Velv, apparently.
What a way to find out.
Yeah, on YouTube as
Although
well.
the subs might go up.
Well, yeah, they might do. Might have angry Southampton. Well, depends on how angry Hassan Hootle takes it. Does Southampton go on a winning run? Is Hassan Hootle so angry at his wife that he's got nothing else to do, that he puts all of his time in Southampton, or is he that distracted that they get relegated? Either way, I'm sure our subscribers will improve. Also, we have to say allegedly, because Ralph might actually sue Velv for saying that. So you never know. Velv might actually need to go get himself a real lawyer.
She likes a 7-inch.
Fuck yeah, no. On that note, we're going to wrap it up there. Any complaints for Velv, you can find him at VEL_skills on Twitter. And that's where you can find him.
No, I leave the house, so you can't find me.
Especially Ralph Hassan Hootle if you want to talk to Velv. But until next time, thanks for watching, guys, and peace out.